So as I've talked about plenty of times, I think the main ingredient to being a good ball handler, a good offensive player in general, is how well we move. But sometimes we can't do all of our ball handling drills with movement. Sometimes we are limited in space, and I do think that we can still get some good work in if we have limited space. If you don't want to get into a full intensity ball handling workout, maybe it's the season, maybe you're tired from your other workouts, and you kind of just want to stay in place and attack these qualities from a stationary sense. So I'll give you guys a 10, maybe 15-minute ball handling workout. We're going to get outside of the box. We're going to get creative with it. There are going to be some things in there that you may not have done before, but I think that's the best way to do it. We got to break outside of that box and get creative, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. Let's check it out. So typically what we do is we start with the basics, right, and we build up. I kind of want to do that the other way around. I want you to get really creative and free with this. We're going to be freestyling, but also incorporating some rhythm into it. So I'm turning on some music. I'm essentially dribbling to the rhythm or to the beat of that music. Any moves I want, I can change speeds, I can change heights. I'll demonstrate it for you guys. I'm not going to let you guys hear the music to save me from getting copyrighted, but I am dribbling to the music here. I'm really trying to align my dribbles and my movements to that music, and that's kind of forcing me to create this rhythm and handle the ball accordingly. All right, so you're gonna do that for 1, maybe 2 songs if it's shorter, and now you're gonna go into creating your own rhythm. So there are obviously countless ways you can do this, but I'm finding my own rhythm and I'm staying in that, again, having to conform that handle to the rhythm. 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Or I could switch it up and go maybe 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or I could even be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is just a really easy way of teaching you how to change speeds, doing it in a very rhythmic manner, forcing you to slow down a little bit, forcing you to speed up a little bit, and it's a good way to get creative and have some fun as we get into the workout. All right, now we're gonna attack changing height. So a lot of this will be kind of working into that low position and then getting comfortable there. So this first one's not necessarily a ball handling drill, more of kind of a performance drill, teaching us how to drop our center of mass and get into these low positions. So I'm bouncing the ball here and I'm trying to catch it as close to the ground as possible in different positions, so I can go wider base here. I'm waiting for it to get close and then quickly dropping myself to catch it right before it hits that ground. So notice how my feet are pretty much coming off the ground here, and I'm just pulling myself down into these low positions that we see when we're attacking off the first step, that we see when we're making moves. So we're teaching ourselves how to drop into these low positions. Now we're gonna work out of these low positions. So I'm getting in kind of a wider stance here, and I'm just shifting each time. That way back can be a little bit relaxed, but this one I'm big shift, relax, big shift, relax, big shift, relax. So again, I'm teaching my body to be comfortable in these low, shifty positions. Then obviously you'll switch and you'll be going the other way, and you can start to switch up those moves a little bit as long as you're in that same pattern, really making the effort to shift each time. Next one right here, we're ramping up our speed. So we're starting pretty slow. We're dropping now from high to low into that position we were just working in. But again, we're starting kind of a controlled manner, even slower than we would normally go. And with each one, I'm starting to speed it up. So by the 5th, 6th, 7th one, I'm really now into the dropping into this low position, switching up the moves and getting shifty with each one of these. Starting slow, really shifting on each one, starting to pick up that pace as I go. Still relaxing at the top here and then dropping fast once I ramp up to that speed. So the quality that we're working on these last 2 drills is something I just call positional comfort, positional awareness. So being comfortable and being able to work out of these low positions so that we can then drop into them a little bit easier. So again, everything we do, I want to bring it back to a drill where you're able to get creative with it, you're able to be free with it. So now we're going to do something called the stationary shift freestyle, where now I'm trying to get into these low positions, but I don't really have any rules. It's just that each low move has to be as shifty as possible. Each one I'm shifting more than I typically would. I'm not the shiftiest, but I'm really working on being able to do this. And now that we've worked in these low positions, it's much easier to get there off of a freestyle. Now we're shifting gears a little bit, going to some ball control work. This will be a little bit more advanced or incorporating some movement into it. So for example, the first one, I'm really kind of bringing it across my body, so outside of that opposite foot. But as I do it, I'm shifting and then cupping it back to this side. Changing speeds, cuff over, bringing it back. You can play around with the speeds. I could go 1, 2, 1, 2, or I could change speeds in between. You're just going 10 times there and back each hand. So big shift, being unpredictable with the speeds. So now I'm shifting from going side to side to more forward and back with that ball control. So I'm stepping forward as I kind of roll it forward and then snatching it back into a behind, which is bringing it into the other hand. So I'm forward, back, out. This may feel weird, especially this one right here where you push it forward. We're trying to keep that continuous motion going and starting to get really aggressive with how we step into it. Oh! And then pop back out of that deceleration. Now I'm going with a little tight wrap. So I'm going behind the back, wrapping it, but bringing it right to the opposite hip. Out of that, I'm going 3 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then freestyling 3 moves out of that. So it'll look like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right back, into it here. So this will feel weird since you have such a narrow base. We're not really used to wrapping it so tight. And then I'm being creative out of these 3 here. So now we're going with some unpredictability work. I'm going out of a freestyle, but I'm trying to drop into that low, fast move as unpredictably as possible. So where typically we would be maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm really trying to switch it up. Imagining like I have a defender on me, and I'm going at the most unpredictable times I possibly can. It should be a little bit tough. If you're really challenging yourself to do it at weird times, maybe when the ball is on the way down, you speed up. Maybe when it's on the way up, but you're just messing around with the timing and the rhythm of it. All right, so the second to last one will be kind of a break before your finisher, so to speak. On this one, we're just dribbling as slowly, as relaxed, as chill as possible. So we don't train this enough. We don't learn how to slow down and kind of hang that ball very often. So this is kind of our active rest in a sense, but trying to slow down even more than you thought you could. I challenge you to try to slow down even more than you do at first, because most times we have a little bit slower speed in the tank if we try. Really controlling that ball as we're slow. All right, last one here. We're just going for a minute straight with a full out freestyle. So this can be anything you want. You can change speeds, you can change heights, you can get creative. You don't have to get creative. You can move as much as you want. The freedom here is on you. Full freestyle, 1 minute.
As always, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to go follow me on Instagram at ByAnyMeansBasketball for a lot more like this. And if you want to train more like this, check out the Ultimate Ball Handling program on the Virtual Academy. I put the link in the description, so go make sure to check that out.